Hello everybody and welcome back to another video and to another haul video here on the channel. If you saw the thumbnail or even just saw what day it is today, I'm sure you could probably already guess what the item I've purchased is. It's a tradition every year on the channel that before 25 Days of Suggestions, I go out and I buy that year's Mini Racers Advent Calendar, and here it is, the 2024 calendar. I actually bought this a few weeks back and just didn't do a video on it until now. I found it at a local toy store that I go to sometimes, and I decided to pick it up. Usually I order them online, but I've been lucky enough to find them in stores for the past 2 years. They don't really sell them at many stores, but last year they were selling mini advent calendars at Target, which was good because I couldn't get it online last year. And now this year, I've gotten the advent calendar from some local toy store. I know, this is a bit later than I usually announce it, but I've been so busy with other videos this month, I never really got around to announcing that I bought the advent calendar until, I guess, the last possible day that I could have. I'm going to take the plastic wrap off of this real quick, and I'm going to take a bit of a closer look at it, because honestly, I'm going to be real with you guys. As far as Mini Racer advent calendars go, this is genuinely one of my least favorite ones. Which is a shame, because I always love opening up the mini advent calendars, but this one just, I don't know. I really don't like it as much as a lot of the other recent ones, and that's because so much of it is simply reused from last year. Basically, I think actually every single piece here is reused from some past advent calendar. Now, last year started that really fun concept of having the track pieces turn into some sort of mini Cars themed Christmas tree, something that last year I thought was a really fun concept, but I felt it kind of failed in execution. It kind of looked better on the box than it did in person. And so earlier on this year, when this advent calendar was announced and we saw it, I was genuinely pretty disappointed to see that they reused all of the pieces from last year with no change. Like, they didn't even recolor the buildings or swap out buildings. Heck, the courthouse still has a typo on the sticker where it says Town of Radiator Spring instead of Town of Radiator Springs. And if you look at this, you can see pretty much all of the pieces are reused. Some of them coming from older advent calendars, like the snowman car is back from, I want to say, 2021. Once again, we only have 4 cars, 3 of them being reused. Cruise is back, who hasn't been out since the 2020 advent calendar, so I'm glad they at least pulled an older item that hasn't been out for a while. But you know, the only new items you're getting here are the one car over there with Sheriff and a few recolored items that are now yellow to fit the cruise theme. And honestly, I'm pretty disappointed by that. So disappointed that I actually almost didn't buy this year's calendar because so much of it is reused. I actually almost went out and ordered the Tomica Cars advent calendar online. I thought it could be a fun way to start my Tomica collection. But then I learned that it would cost over $100 to import it, and also that nearly everything that comes in it is just made of paper, and it only comes with 2 Tomica diecasts, just a McQueen and Mater. So that, for over $100, versus this with all plastic pieces that I got for only about $20, $25, you know, I would much rather buy this. It's just a better option. Even if I'm not the biggest fan of this advent calendar, honestly, I do feel a little silly. Like, of course, last year's advent calendar was great because every single piece was a brand new piece. They made all of these new pieces. So I think it's kind of ridiculous looking back that I didn't expect the next year to just fully repurpose the pieces from the previous year. Like, of course this was gonna, you know, of course I spent all that money to make the new molds. Everything last year was brand new. Of course the next year would reuse it. So, like, I don't know. I think it's kind of ridiculous that I didn't realize that. I think that was definitely an inevitability. And while it is a shame, I do totally understand it from a budgetary reason, right? I think it's pretty clear to see that these advent calendars don't have the highest budgets. They never make cars that are new, unique molds. You know, any new holiday detailing is always just printing on them. So, you know, I'm not going to spend all 25 days opening up this advent calendar complaining. We know what we're getting here. It's very similar to last year's, but that doesn't mean we can't still have a fun time with it. And if you missed out on last year's advent calendar, this one is a great one to get because you get pretty much all the same stuff, just some stuff in new colors. And I gotta say, the assortment of cars this year is pretty solid. While I do prefer the advent calendars that give us 5 cars instead of 4, I really do appreciate that they brought back Cruz, who hasn't been in an advent calendar since 2020. And while I don't like getting so many re-releases in the advent calendar, the fact that they're still including new cars is what keeps me coming back every year. If next year's advent calendar didn't include a new release, I probably wouldn't pick it up unless the track was something brand new as well. But so long as they keep including new minis, I'm always going to be interested. And I'm especially interested by the one brand new thing this year, which of course is a Christmas Sheriff. This, to me, honestly, pretty much saves the entire advent calendar. I know it's a little ridiculous to say this, but I genuinely bought this for the mini Sheriff. I almost didn't get it, but I knew I needed to get that Sheriff, simply because we don't have any variants of Mini Racer Sheriff other than regular Sheriff. That's right, this is the second Sheriff Mini Racer ever, and it's a nice holiday-themed one. I love that we're still getting new holiday cars every year. And while this one isn't that special, it's just Sheriff with a Christmas tree printed on him, it's still genuinely really nice to get a brand new item in these advent calendars, a brand new car, a brand new Christmas variant of a Radiator Springs character. And I love that, as always, they base it off of the character's design from Mater Saves Christmas. In Mater Saves Christmas, Sheriff has some Christmas-themed antennas, but since they can't really do the antennas on the Mini Racer, they just gave him a Christmas tree on the hood. So I like it. You know, maybe they could have done something a bit better. I would have preferred that green Christmas Sheriff that we got in the 155 scale line, but still, the fact that it's a new mini Sheriff is really what won me over with this. So yeah, there we have it, this year's Mini Racer Advent Calendar, which I'll be opening up across 25 days of suggestions. Really hope that we get a better one in 2025, but like I said, I don't want to spend all the time complaining about this because it's perfectly fine. You know, I just wish that it were a bit more different, but I understand why it isn't. Let me know what you guys think of this year's advent calendar down in the comments. What do you think of Christmas Sheriff? Who do you want them to include next year? I'm really hoping for, well, who's left actually? There aren't that many Radiator Springs cars that they haven't done yet. I'd really like a Sarge next year because they did Fillmore a while back. A Sarge with roof lights mini racer would be pretty nice if they just, you know, change the roof area to white. That'd be pretty cool. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow, which is crazy to think of, to open the first day. Wonder what that'll be. Bye now.